Hello. Today we're going to discuss defeating microaggressions in the library. This presentation is brought to you by the ALA Emerging Leaders 2022 cohort presented by Monique Christian Long for Learn RT. Let's go over some key words. Microaggressions are comments that are subtle and often unconscious and unintentional, but they express prejudice attitudes towards members of marginalized groups, such as the racial minorities. This can also include people with disabilities, those in the LGBTQ plus community, and those who may be non binary or having a different gender. Our next key word is empathy. This is the action of understanding, being aware of, and sensitive to the feelings, thoughts, and experiences of another person. This includes being aware of your own experiences and how they relate and affect the experiences of others. Our last keyword is inclusion. We may hear this a lot, but what does it really mean? The act or practice of including and accommodating people who have been historically excluded because of their race, gender, sexuality, or ability. How does this impact the library? First, microaggressions can impact both the staff and the library customers or patrons. It creates a hostile work environment, deters customers from marginalized groups from returning, and halts progress towards inclusivity. Leaving microaggressions unchecked will create a culture where offenses occur repeatedly. This is not a place where you want to visit or work. Things happen. What do we do now? Microaggressions occur commonly. The difference between a healthy work environment and a toxic one is the way we respond. Let's talk about ways we can respond when microaggressions occur. First, respect other people's right to be offended. If you did or said something that offended someone, take time to reflect on what could have been done differently rather than trying to justify your actions. If you are the one being offended, do not suffer in silence. Report injustices in the library to a manager or supervisor. If they are the ones doing the offending, report it to their boss. Also, influence change where you can. Maybe that is in collection development, building relationships within the community, or working on accessibility tools. Lastly, educate others when you can. If you have the capacity to do so, educate your peers or refer them to EDI materials such as books, podcasts, webinars, and articles. There are a lot of great materials out there to help people learn about equity, diversity, and inclusion. The next level of defeating microaggressions in the library is to become a disruptor. You do this by being willing to interrupt offensive behavior and speak up, educating people about why their behavior is harmful, developing ready responses to microaggressions, such as that statement or action was offensive and I would prefer you do not say or do things like that around me. Another way to be a disruptor is to be mindful. This is just awareness about how things you say and do can be perceived. Racial disparities can influence the way people are perceived and treated. Have respect for fellow staff members and patrons. Although insensitive topics can sometimes slip through the cracks of our daily interactions, if that happens, remember to be mindful of who's around you and continue to be respectful. Lastly, disruptors are proactive. Get to know the customers and the people you work with. Practice self awareness. You need to understand where you are in the societal hierarchy and how that affects your interactions with people. This also includes power dynamics in the workplace. Develop policies and procedures for reporting injustices and addressing issues within your library. I want to leave you all with a quote that I thought was really impactful. Microaggressions erode workplaces one slight at a time. While microaggressions can seem like a small thing, over time, they'll begin to chip away at the culture of your workplace if they're left unchecked. That's why we want to be disruptors and deal with microaggressions head on by interrupting injustice, being mindful, and being proactive. If you are looking for more information about equity, diversity, and inclusion at work, I recommend the three titles listed here to help you understand microaggressions and workplace diversity. Thank you.